Greetings, Iain from RTO here. Welcome to another one-off album review. And this one's part of the Gong story again. We have now reached part 7 and a band called Gong Gongmaison. So, how did Gong Gongmaison come about then? So, Gong Gongmaison, okay, is one of the many incarnations of the band Gong that existed from 1989 to 1992. There were quite a few different versions of the band at that time. Now this band was the evolution of a band called the Invisible Opera Company of Tibet that was assembled by David Allen when returning to the UK from Australia after his 7 years exile in early '88. It was during this intensive, I'm not going to say again the shorten of IOCT tour in Europe, that Allen realised that there was a strong public demand for his former band Gong, which Allen had left in 1975. So he decided to rechristen his latest lineup of the Invisible Opera Company to Gong Gongmaison. And the band was David Allen on guitars and vocals, Didier Malberg on sax, who was ex-Gong, Graham Clark on the violin, Shamal Matra on percussion, Wanda on harmonica and vocals, and Harry Williamson on keys and guitar. The name came from a house in France which David Allen expressed much interest at the time and intended to make it a new musical direction to experiment with this band. But however, in practice, Gong Maison's music was very acoustic, and apart from a reworking of Gong's track Flying Teapot, they only made this one album. So let's have a look at this. Okay, first track is a rendition of Flying Teacup. And I like this track. It's got some great sax on it. It's a really weird, but it's still very enjoyable track. Even though they've redone it, it's quite good still. Then we get a track called 1989. I like this track. It's got a bit of a reggae beat to it. Nice sax in it. I would say this reminds me of Madness. It's got that Madness feel to it, and that's probably why I like it. Then we get a track called Titti-Caca, which I love the title of. It's quite a long track. This is very different. It's got some tabla drums on it. Really lots of weird stuff going on in this track. It's not a particular favourite of mine, but there's just little sections of this song I do like. It sort of goes off onto one of David Allen's weird and wonderful tracks that he seems to throw everything except the kitchen sink at. Yeah, it's okay. It's not particularly one of them tracks that I really go for. Then we get Tablas Logorhythmique. I love this. It's very short, but I do love tabla drums. I think it's got a lovely sound, and it's that hollowness that I like. It's only for a minute, but it's pretty good. Then we get Negotiate. Now this is a long track, but it's brilliant. This has got that Rick's mixture of traditional jazz, which goes into a little bit of folk, a little bit of progs in there. And I think this is the most mellow thing that David Allen's ever put his name to. And I love it. I just think it's a lovely track. It's my favourite on the album. We Circle Around. A really good track again. This reminds me of a sort of Sparks another band that was pioneering in sounds and techniques. That's probably why I like it. It's a really strong track. Then we get this dancey mix called Flying Tea Dance Mix, which is a Flying Tea thing. Okay, they were doing dancey music, and they were showing the people that the dance things that you can do it, and if you do it properly, it turns out all right. Now, for some odd reason, I think this is very good what they've done to it. They've used that horrible drum beat from the 80s and done it better. They haven't got so much of that tinny sound. It's a little bit richer, and it works. And I think it's quite good. And that was the last track on the album. So I'd just say this is another incursion of gold here. It's got some really good stuff. I was pleasantly surprised. I have added it into my collection because I do love Negotiate. There's lots of little acoustic and jazz fusion going on there. It's a really enjoyable album. Okay. I mean, even the track Titti-Caca, although it's got some weird stuff in, there's some really good little highlights in that song as well. So I'm going to give this one an RTO ranking of 8 out of 10. Okay, that's all for today, but we are back tomorrow, even though it is a Saturday, because tomorrow is the birthday of a very good friend of mine, Tony, so he will get his birthday top 10. Last night, a lot of you gave your birthdays as in live stream, so they'll all be coming up. But apart from tomorrow, we'll be back on Sunday. Shall we start again, Ian? We'll be back on Monday. Well, we do have another gong. We are going to do part 8, and that's Mother Gong. And the classic album on Monday will be Guns N' Roses' debut album, Appetite for Destruction. So I'll see you tomorrow, briefly, for Tony's birthday. But if you're not going to watch it or you're very busy, I'll see you on Monday. Bye for now.